Hello and welcome to the Satluj Podcast. As the momentum for the concept of Khalistan gathers pace and support for the independent sovereign Sikh state grows globally, of course people are turning their thoughts to the actual governance of Khalistan. Many have advocated the idea of following the example of the Vatican, that small sovereign state nestled in the heart of Italy, that could form an ideal model to follow, but others disagree. To discuss this idea, I'm joined today by our regular guest, Dr. Singh Grewal, MD. Dr. Grewal, welcome and thank you for joining us once again today.
Good morning. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Angus. I think this is a timely subject because recently somebody has started again on WhatsApp sending, Sikhs needs a Vatican status for Harmandir Sahib and Akal Takht. They do not understand what Vatican status is and trying to confuse the issue. I don't know, they are troublemakers or they just don't understand the subject. So I thought it's timely that we discuss it. My effort is to focus on the comparison, what Sikhs are asking for, what the Sikh aspirations are and what is the Vatican status is. There is no way I am trying to be disrespectful to my Catholic friends or the Italian government or the two structures. So what is the Vatican status and how is different from Akal Takht or Harmandir Sahib concept of Miri Piri? So historically before 1870, Italy was not one country. Around Rome, central part, it was called papal states or papal states with the Pope. Pope is also in Italy called Bishop of Rome. So both are the same. You can understand whatever I say, it could be either way. So Bishop of Rome ruled this area when the Italy became one country and they lost it. And the Pope became very distressed, and the Pope isolated himself in the Vatican, and he says he's a prisoner. So for 61 years, the popes remained prisoners in the Vatican area, and Italy was ruled by political government. In 1929, there was agreement made between the Italian government by Prime Minister Mussolini and the representative of the Vatican. It's called Lateran Treaty, so which established sovereign state within Italy, small state called Vatican. So this is known as the Vatican City. So Vatican is a sovereign in its own territory. The treaty had three main components. One was establish Vatican City as independent state. Then there was financial convention to compensate the Vatican for the revenue they lost. And the third was a relationship called concordant regulations between church and the Italian government. Politically, they given sovereignty to the Vatican or the bishop only in the small area. They are independent financially and politically. So this agreement has many articles in each of the components. We don't have a time and neither we are interested in exploring that. So we will limit our thing. So what did the Lateran Accord accomplish? The Vatican is recognized as sovereign country, the city-state, the smallest country in the world. Financial compensation, the Pope was given some money. I don't want to say the numbers because I could be wrong. This was compensation for losing the papal states. The Catholicism was recognized as a state religion, and the church and state relations was established according to concordant agreement. So what were those agreements? Recognition of Catholic marriage. marriage was recognized as a legal marriage in Italy by the Italian government, and they agreed that religious education, Christian education, Catholic education will be taught in schools, and what will be taught will be approved by the bishop, and the teachers will be trained by the church. Certain buildings outside the Vatican City, like there's a summer residence of the Pope, was also recognized as independent for them. Papal inviolability. So, person of the Supreme Pontiff was considered sacred and inviolable. So, the Italian government will always recognize Pope as independent authority. So, this agreement was, this accord accomplished what we talk now. So, let's see what is a Vatican City. How big is the Vatican City? It's 0.49 kilometers square, only 121 acres. For discussion, in US, 1 acre is 640 acres. So this is 121 acres territory, is almost 1/5 or close to that of 1 acre. It's a very small area. How many people live in the Vatican? 800 population. Only 32 are women. Since the Vatican status was established, there have been 0 births in Vatican City because there is no hospital. Who can be the citizen of Vatican City? Only the people who are there by employment, they work for the church, or the Swiss guards. So as long as they work there, they can be citizens of Vatican City. When they lose a job, they lose a citizen. You don't become citizen there by birth because there's no birth happened since 1929. And you can't ask for that. So since this was accomplished, the accord was accomplished, there have been several violations on both sides. In 1938, the Italian government passed a law that Jews can not marry non-Jews even if they are Catholics. So the Vatican felt that they have not kept their agreement where the church has the authority on the marriage. So this is one of the legal independence. In 2008, because of the disagreement, the church also said they are not going to respect all the Italian laws. So Mussolini, in somewhere around 1938, also said that Catholic teaching will not be the only way to teach in the schools and colleges. They also wanted to make sure the military standards education is applied. So one of the agreement was that Pope, which they call Bishop of Rome, will be always Italian. So major revisions in 1984, where they changed the Catholic religion or Christian religion will now be the official religion in the country. It will be more secular. Financial arrangements were changed. And Vatican has also changed some of the agreements they made. So the last 4 bishops of Rome or the popes were not Italian. You know, we had the Pope from Poland, then we had a Pope from Germany, Pope from South America, now we have a Pope from America. So both sides have made some changes or not kept their word. In comparison to the Vatican City, what we have been talking, the Sikhs have a concept of Miri Piri. Miri comes from an Arabic word where Amir or the king is the political power, and Piri comes from the Pir or a saint, religious expression. So the sixth Guru started this concept to fight the tyranny. The Sikhs have the right to Miri Piri. From now on, he declared the Sikhs will have their own, they will be in charge of the religious affairs and the political or temporal affairs. So in comparison to Vatican City, we do not have anything like where one person is in charge of the Sikh affairs. So the political governance, temporal rights, the Miri is referring to political thing, justice, and the defending ourselves, community service. And the Piri comes from divine connection, spiritual community, spiritual guidance, moral values. So the Sikhs, to be Sikh, you had to be accomplishing both sides of life, both concept in your life and in society. Sikhs will be a saint soldier. That's what the Gurus prepared us for. Balance of Miri Piri is integrated wholeness, saint soldier, community responsibility, personal practices. Langar is a kitchen service. Standing against injustice is the most important part of Sikh teachings. Education and awareness, promoting learning and spiritual knowledge. So this makes the Sikh soldiers. So let's compare Vatican to the Sikh governance model. So aspect, Vatican model comparing to concept of Miri Piri. In Vatican, single Pope as a superior authority. In Sikhs, we have a Guru Granth Sahib as eternal guide, no living Guru. Territorial ambitions. Vatican is limited to small sovereign territory, small city, not even 1 kilometer square. Sikhs aspire to have their sovereign homeland, not just a holy site. Governance structure. In Vatican, there is hierarchy with the Pope at the apex. In Sikhs, has a community-based Panj Pyare, five beloveds tradition, not one person. Spiritual temporal relations, separation. In Vatican, they have separation with focus on spiritual authority. So the Pope or the Bishop of Rome does not interfere any political affairs of the Italian government. This is much different than what Sikhs like. I don't think any Sikh, even the ones who are saying we need the Vatican status for Harmandir Sahib and Akal Takht, can agree to that we will not have any Sikh participation in political affairs of the country, India or Punjab. This is totally unacceptable and against the teachings of Sikh Gurus. So, fundamental differences. Vatican model represents a historical compromise where the Church accepted a small sovereign territory in exchange for relinquishing claim to larger territory. This arrangement focused primarily on securing independence for spiritual leadership. Pope served as both spiritual leadership and head of the state with a micronation. Sikh aspirations envision a broader integration of spiritual and temporal authority across a homeland, not merely a holy site. It rejects the notion of compromise on territorial sovereignty. Sikhs are aspiring to have their own kingdom back and have their sovereign country again. We cannot be satisfied with 1 square kilometer area. This reflects a fundamental difference and vision of religious governance. Vertical model, authority in one person. Sikhs have authority vested in Guru Granth Sahib. and the Miri Piri concept. We do not have any concept of Pope in Sikhism. We are guided by Guru Granth Sahib. There is no living Guru. There is a fundamental difference in authority between Vatican State and the Sikh governance principle. Vatican City is a micro-state model. Miri Piri concept is a Sikh homeland aspiration, and current geopolitical realities, what we are trying to establish or gain, it cannot be contained in one micro city state. So this is a fundamental difference. So Sikh aspirations cannot be satisfied with Vatican status, and the two are not the same. So there are a lot of differences. This doesn't mean the Vatican is doing any wrong. I think they are doing whatever their circumstances allowed them to do, but we are not trying to be satisfied with Vatican City for one building. Akal Takht is an institution. Akal Takht is not only physical building. So one building can be destroyed, but institutions cannot be destroyed. Look, Indian government destroyed the building of Akal Takht, but they could not destroy the concept of Akal Takht from our minds. So this is the difference. Miri Piri is the concept. That's what we want to, and that's what we will get.
And Dr. Grewal, I also do sort of sense another fundamental difference, which of course you have referred to some degree, is that ironically, the country, the nation of Italy, under Mussolini at the time, was pushing the Holy See and pushing the Vatican to broaden their acceptance of other faiths, other religions. But in fact, the Vatican City was really effectively a theocracy. It was, we are Catholic, we will only tolerate Catholicism within the Vatican City. So again, this difference between what Khalistan will represent, and as we often say, Khalistan will be open to all, it will be not run as a theocracy, it will have the welcome mat will be laid out to people of all faiths to practice their own faiths in complete freedom. And there is again, this fundamental difference between the Vatican City and Italy, and of course what Khalistan will be compared to India. Khalistan will be instead not a theocracy, but welcome to all.
Yes, you're right. I think there's not a lack of so-called intellectuals who have not studied anything beyond the textbook. And they have MA degree, PhD degree, but their knowledge is very limited, and those are projected in front of us as Sikh intellectual. A lot of them have worked for the government and they're scared, and sometimes I think it may be mischievous discussion on the part of the Indian government to put them in the front and tell the Sikhs, okay, look like a Vatican, you can have this. No, we will not be satisfied with the Vatican status of Akal Takht or Mandir Sahib. Like I said, Akal Takht is not limited to a building, it's a concept, it's an institution. And institutions cannot be destroyed by destroying one building. We will not accept that. I don't think any Sikh who understand the Miri Piri can accept that. The people who are putting this for discussion are ignorant or mischievous, or maybe the both. So this is, I think, the most important thing that I want to bring it up for discussion today. What history teaches us. Little bit sidetrack, but very interesting facts. The first bishop in America, Bishop of Baltimore, was John Carroll. There were three brothers, two brothers and one cousin. They were very active in American freedom movement. So John Carroll became the first bishop of Baltimore. They wrote to Vatican, the American public will not accept appointment of bishop from Vatican So they allowed them the vision to be nominated and elected. So he was voted to be a bishop of Baltimore by 24 priests. See the concept? Some societies want different structures. So I don't think they have. No, the first one was voted. So the Americans were very concerned having a Catholic president. President Kennedy's father did some studies, a survey, found that American public will accept Catholic president. And Kennedy, being smart and very personable, he was able to assure the American people that I will not be taking orders from Vatican, I'll be American president. And he became American president. And now look at the time. Times have changed. Now American is a pope. Just a side discussion. Nothing is fixed forever. Things will change, but the concept of Miri Piri is forever. This comes from gurus. If we follow Sikhi, this is what we have to follow, or we won't be Sikhs.
Indeed, powerful words. And one final question, Dr. Grewal, about just the general governance of Khalistan as and when it is established. Is, of course, the comparisons to Vatican City really do fail, particularly from a simple geographical perspective. Khalistan will be a much larger geographical area. It will have a large population. But in terms of its actual governance, there is a concept of Panj Pyar, if I pronounce that correctly. This really, it's an evolution from the original Khalsa. It is this system of democratic governance that will govern Khalistan. Do you think that is the way it will be governed? Do you think that is the model, the democratic model that will run Khalistan as a nation?
So the Khalistan won't be a small area. Even the current Punjab, after cutting into small pieces so many times, still about 58,000 kilometers. It's twice the size of Israel. And the democratic way will be the only way the government will work. The constitution, I think we talked before, you have talked many times, constitution of Khalistan will be based on Sikh principles. There be equality, no caste system, and no oppression of anybody. Just like Maharaja Ranjit Singh's kingdom, all three religions of that time were satisfied. They could their own teaching, they could run their own schools, and the government gave money to mosque, temple, and the gurdwaras. So the Khalistan doesn't mean that it will be country only by Sikhs, but it be based on the Sikh principle. The constitution has to be based on the Sikh principles. But everybody who's a citizen of Punjab will be living there happily. I think that's what we are saying again and again, and we like to assure everybody living in Punjab that's what we mean. And anybody who's interested in Khalistan, whenever we have a discussion, we all seriously mean that. But the government propaganda tries to divide Sikhs versus non-Sikhs in Punjab. They are not succeeding, but they are not giving up. So we need to make sure that people of Punjab understand it's for everybody in Punjab. It will be democratic, it will be based on equality, it will be no caste system.
Indeed. And that is maybe the best message to send all the critics, is that we're not trying to establish a holy land, rather a homeland, in your words, Dr. Grewal. But there indeed...
we are asking for homeland, not a little holy land.
Absolutely, and that is the clear message. But there, we must leave it. But we will talk again with Dr. Grewal to continue this interesting discussion. Dr. Grewal, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
And thank you for watching the Satluj TV podcast. We will see you next time.